welcome to Online Seller UK podcast. My name is Prabhat, founder at Online Seller UK, and today we have another interesting topic. And I must say that's a very important one, which is to do with e-commerce accounting. And a lot of times it's tricky for Amazon sellers because you're busy in your own stuff going on, and accounting bit sometimes it's challenging. So this is why Phil's here today to talk us all about it. So welcome to our podcast, Phil.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Prabhat. Great to be here.
Excellent. Excellent. So, yeah, let's start with your introduction, your company, and we take it from there.
My name is Philip Oakley. I'm the founder of Outserve. We've been going about 17 years and now, and we are, e-commerce specialists helping growing, scaling e-commerce businesses, product businesses, selling it on marketplaces, definitely like Amazon and others as well. And that could be from setting up systems that are going to hopefully make you as efficient and as effective as possible. But also, if you are looking to outsource your e-commerce bookkeeping or accounting or some numbers, we offer a sort of a suite of managed services specifically aimed at e-commerce businesses, marketplaces, even international sellers.
Excellent. So, just before the call, we were talking about, plugin A2X. So, um, talk me through, is it for all Amazon sellers, this A2X plugin?
Yeah, I think, if you're serious about selling on Amazon, even at the, that sort of entry level, it can bring a huge amount of benefit because you only need to have even a small amount of sales, and as you know, Prabhat, it gets complicated. Um, there's lots of numbers that Amazon are gonna throw at you if when you dig into the system, you'll just see a net payout every
Mhm.
fortnight, and really understanding what's in there. So I think it can benefit a small and growing new Amazon seller right up to ones that are doing tens and tens of millions.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think with financial side, as you said, the Amazon throws lots of numbers, and sometimes it can be challenging for a growing business. Um, so and so to say, how to avoid it, or how to manage those challenges, in your opinion?
Yeah, and I think it is just to sort of pinpoint that problem is you can probably see most Amazon sellers can quite quickly go and see on the dashboard what have I sold? What have I sold today, last week, last month?
Yeah.
And we can all
Yeah.
feel good about those sales, or maybe sometimes not feel good about how much we're selling or not selling. But then you've got that number over here, then you get the payout. It seems quite a mystery sometimes to some people between those 2 points, and really trying to understand and managing that, I think is the absolute key. Is the things that we can easily see are actually masking, and I think we talked about this, like blind spots. That blind spot is quite a big. It's not just a spot; it's quite a gap in the middle of those two numbers that most Amazon sellers can see readily, quickly, and easily. But that isn't the understanding of the business.
Okay. So you mentioned blind spots. Now, I'm not quite clear on what that actually mean. Do you want to talk a little bit more on that?
Yeah. So I think there's a couple of blind spots, and there's blind spots in everybody's business, my business, your business, about things that they're not easy to see and understand quickly, possibly in real time. So I think if we have a couple of items that we look at, one is we say a blind spot on Amazon is the amount of costs that you are incurring by selling on Amazon. And you can look at those the sort of price list of Amazon costs, which are they're quite detailed grids to be fair of the fees. But then of course we're going to get into possible chargebacks, really understanding the costs of refunds and returns, especially in the FBA world where you are having so much being managed by Amazon. And that is often a blind spot for Amazon businesses, especially on a day-to-day basis, really understanding actually how much cost have I incurred over this sales period. And not until we see all those costs do we really understand profitability. I think a lot of businesses looking at that sales, feeling, maybe quite comfortable with the sales figure, but actually when you then look at all the costs you've incurred to get those sales, and of course that's before we actually really get into what was the cost of the goods sold, and really having a clear understanding of that. Again, we've sold an item, but actually, obviously, we've usually purchased or even manufactured that item. There could be freight, there could be duty. Probably don't want to talk too much about tariffs at the moment because those things could be having an effect as well. But yeah, really understanding those numbers. I think there are a few businesses probably thinking about tariffs at the moment because if you don't understand your margin
Mhm.
and you really don't understand how much it's costing you to sell on Amazon, I think you've got a blind spot there that's going to make it quite hard to make decisions, um, particularly when setting your sales price, trying to be competitive. On a as we know on Amazon, you really need to be very agile sometimes in that buy box.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's about getting the balance right. That's a key there. Okay, so we are seeing some changes in the accounting with AI going everywhere. Obviously, accounting is another part where AI is transforming things. Um, so what are the key things you want to, tell people who are thinking about, introducing AI into their accounting?
Yeah, I think the first thing, and there is a lot spoken about AI at the moment, as you know, Prabhat, is that actually before you can really benefit from a lot of this AI, is to get your house in order, to actually have good quality, up to date data. It's the old garbage in, garbage out scenario. AI is not going to be able to help you much if your numbers are not up to date, if they're not accurate, if they're not actually broken down in a sensible way. And I think before so many of us could think about, well, what could AI do for us at this point is actually, are we up to date? Are we actually getting the numbers in the right places? Does it all make sense? And I think still at this, it needs some human eyeballs on that.
Yeah.
People who really understand the business. AI is fantastic, but it can hallucinate a bit when you give it some quite high level information. And the people who really understand their business is often the people who are running it. They understand their products. They understand what margins they should be making or want to be making.
Okay.
And we need to get that data in line. And I still think that there's for many small businesses, particularly Amazon ones, there's still a long way to go with just what I would call basic automation. And even that it can be challenging. There's so
Mhm.
much we can automate, not in an AI type way necessarily, just good automation using connected systems to get that data into the right places when you need your Amazon data into, say, Zero or QuickBooks for accounting software, and getting it analyzed correctly for sales amounts, costs, obviously sales taxes around the world. And that doesn't actually require AI today. That just requires good automation.
Yeah, I think what generally we need to look at, so where this is where I'm seeing the AI might help, but again, correct me on that. It's sort of a management report. So do you think if we plug in the data to the AI system and then it can tell me what's important to me, uh, do you think it is happening already or it will happen?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's definitely happening already. And clearly for some sellers, again, we're talking about a lot of data. So, sales data over a long period of time,
Mhm.
changing cost of goods sold over a period of time, maybe lots of SKUs, lots of products. That's when AI can really help to, sift through that data quickly and find the important things. We're always looking for, actionable data. What
Yeah.
can we take action on today? And even if we've got plenty of clients who would just have 100 SKUs, some with many, many more, some with a few less, but just say 100 SKUs, then and products. That takes a lot for a human mind and spreadsheets and everything to really take on. And if you've got, color size variances, trying to understand, which listings are more effective than others when there's a lot of data. And of course, the big thing is it moves so quickly. So
Yeah.
what's working right this week may not be next week, the week after, the week after. There's been great data analysis done over the years by people looking at all this information, but it takes often a long time to do it. If AI can just speed up that process and really float to the top, this is the important information. This is what's actionable. This is what you should be focused on because we're all time poor and we've all got to make good, sensible, quick decisions based on that data, which is going to help our business. And I think AI can really, really help.
Yeah. Okay, good. So last question to you, and I know I've not prepared you for this. So I don't need any names. So if you can give a cite an example of any company that you've recently worked or transformed their accounting system without putting any name in it or any sensitive information in it. Do you want to talk a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think we're very lucky. We've got some fantastic clients. I think you can see quite a few of their logos on our website at outserve.co.uk. And really seeing some great companies that are selling on marketplaces at the moment. And we'd highlight products like from, I'm not sure if you come across like Target Darts or Target Sport, which target the darts element of that. I don't know if you're following Luke Littler, Luke the Nuke from Warrington, and obviously that is spiking huge amounts of interest across the world in darts and dart products. So if you wanted a Luke Littler dartboard, I think you could find one of those in many marketplaces and many shops. And again, I think we see trends and we see things that become very popular. And when you've got popular products, again, you need to maximize that potential across all places, and that's where we start to look at for certain products a marketplace like Decathlon. So if you're selling a nice dartboard or the darts, I think Decathlon could be a great brand, but clearly Amazon, eBay, all of these marketplaces are fantastic for the products that have a lot of interest, especially when there's those events like the darts World Cup or all the equivalent competitions, and really understanding that when the growth in those markets can be really great, and keeping up with that growth, understanding your numbers, producing when you've got to really focus on obviously producing great products. I think Target Sports sponsor Luke Littler and are very much involved in the organization of the sport, so they need to have their e-commerce accounting as automated as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you again, Phil, time today for talking us through. So, I think the next thing is if anybody wants to talk to you about, having very informal conversations about their company and then about automation and things like that, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, if you go to outserve.co.uk, you'll see there's a book a call link, and we're very happy for anybody who's listening to your podcast, Prabhat, to book in for a 20-25 minute initial call to really understand some of the things they might be looking at to help their business grow and scale, especially if they're feeling a bit confused at the moment, or just there's just so much work to do. And as we know, we want our clients to focus on what they do best: find, make, sell great products, really focus on that sales and marketing engine. And we can really help with that back office, where I don't meet many people who got into business to do bookkeeping. But they definitely need to know those numbers. No margin, no mission.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you again, Phil, for the time today, and I'll speak to you